Oh, that'll be Sheila off for her week 2 Tuesday night shift. You know, he forgot to take the milk out of the freezer again and then made the ice cream joke. Oh, she is fuming.
Should I be worried about you?
Don't be jealous. I tried to get into your routine, but all you do is you leave for work, you come home, you leave again. It's just a lot of leaving and coming back. I don't remember that.
Yes, you do. What? Don't be one of these. Oh, look at me! I'm out of the rat race. I can finally put me time at the top of the to-do list. People.
Wow, I miss you too.
Bullshit. You're loving this.
Yeah, well, it'd be hard to miss someone all the time.
Go on.
Well, I wouldn't miss you when I'm weighing in on yellow or green for that third day afternoon to mid-evening coverage.
Always comes back to your bloody period.
Bloody?
Yeah. Okay, I walked into that one, didn't I?
Those nurses today loved you. I had to drag up the story again.
Oh, yeah. I bet it was such a drag. You really hate telling that story, don't you?
It was Maggie's birthday party.
God, you're dreadful.
When you had the common sense to pretend to have a cigarette.
I had a cigarette.
And I had that awful stomach bug.
Pretended.
And then you lent me your coat.
Only because your nipples were...
Oh my God, what? Now I understand why he was getting me to tell it. That was me thinking you were being romantic.
So you know that green/yellow situation you had, is that still...
Nope.
Shall I get it? Do you want to come? Yeah. Hey. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't see you there. God, how awkward and terribly embarrassing that you caught me like this. I was just practicing.
You don't have to do this if...
I'm just practicing for this gig I've got later with the band. My band. You know, the band I'm in with in.
Where is your band?
I don't know. Oh, I mean, they're outside. Just, you know, getting some fresh air before the gig. The hot gig. It gets so hot in there, you know. Speaking of hot.
Okay, you don't have to. It's not really what.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to try.
No, yeah, but you're just.
I got it. Got it. Don't laugh at
I'm
me.
sorry, but
Just trying to be, sexy rocker chick.
yeah, no, I can see that, but you do know that wig looks the exact same as your real hair, right?
Yeah, well, it came in a pack, like a buy one get one free thing, and well, the other one was just ridiculous. So
Yeah, no, makes sense.
stop it.
I'm sorry, but Phil Collins.
Look, I thought that a drummer would be sexy, be cool, but with like a good skill level. And well, the only drum beat I can keep in my head was that one. So
It was sexy.
yeah.
And cool.
Really?
And it was the best I've seen you do it.
No, you haven't.
Hi, we're here with Sarah Flanagan, writer and director of It Ends As It Begins. Hi, Sarah, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. First question, It Ends As It Begins up in 3 words.
3 words. Okay. I would say surprise,
Mhm.
conversation,
Good.
and reality.
Cool, I'll take that. All right.
Didn't
What I quite
just
like
make it up on the spot. Definitely not.
your characters seem to have a lot of fun, but the play sort of ends up slipping into something a bit more tragic. No spoilers. Did you find it easy to write the fun scenes, or do you prefer writing the tragic one?
Well, the fun things are more fun to write. I think they tend to flow a bit better, and I find that they sound a little bit less stereotypical, if that makes sense. Like as you're writing them, they don't sound like you've heard them a million times before. But it's really hard writing sad, sad moments. Because you just have so many dramas pop into your head when you're writing those lines, and you're just thinking, "Oh, I've heard this so many times before." But those emotions are quite universal, and I think if you get out of your head when you're writing it and just think, does it feel real to me at the time, then it tends to sound all right. But I do think I probably find it more natural to write the fun beginning scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Cool. There's quite a lot of ambiguity about your play. Was that or within your play? Was that your intention going into it?
Probably not. I think I might have just not known where the play was going, and then I think at some point I was supposed to decide what was happening, and then I just thought I liked that people were reading it and thinking, oh, I don't know who this person is or what happens to them. And I quite like that. And if I think about my favorite films and my favorite stories, they're always left a little bit undecided. They're always left up to the audience's imagination and to my imagination. So I think I've gone along that sort of route and not made it too in your face about what's going on.
Lovely. And finally, if your play was to teach us one lesson as we come to the end of 2020 to take into 2021.
Oh, just say the end of that. You went off.
Oh, so if your play was to teach us one lesson going into 2021 as we leave 2020, what would it be?
To hold on to those you love.
Lovely. I like that. Cool. Thank you very much, Sarah, for joining us. We love the clip that we saw and look forward to seeing the whole play in February.
Thanks so much.
You said that you'd be okay.
I was okay. I am okay.
You're not okay.
I'm
Look what
fine.
happened the last time I left. I only went to college, not to another country.
You should go. You're gonna miss your train.
Mom, I'm not thinking about getting my train. I'm not sure I should go. Look what happened the last time I left.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I just need to go through your old things and find the proper place for them and the papers. I'll buy a new filing cabinet and a bureau and I'll sort out the bedroom. It won't take long.
You can't even get into my old room. There's so much stuff in there, no one could get in.
It just needs to be sorted out.
There's nothing to be sorted out. You've barricaded the place. I don't even know what's in that old room anymore.
It's fine. I just need to sort it.
Please. Stop kidding yourself. I've already made a start on my old room.
What?
This is the last of the stuff I was able to take out.
Why did you go through my stuff?
I barely made a dent in that room. Do you know what I had to go through? Empty cans, old toys.
It's my stuff.
It's junk.
Where did you put them?
Garbage. Where they belong.
You are so selfish. How can you come into my house and throw away my stuff?
I'm the selfish one.
It's my house. It's my stuff.
I'm your son. Sometimes it feels like you care more about this old stuff than about me.
That's not true.
Isn't it? I'm gonna go catch my train. And see when I'm not welcome.
Where are you going?
Out of this house. Have fun with your new family.
Hello, I'm here with Kimber, writer of Hoarders, and also one of the co-directors. How you doing, Kimber?
I'm doing very well, Tom. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty well, thank you. Cool. So, sum up Hoarders in 3 words for us.
The way I would sum up Hoarders is, I couldn't do it in 3 words. I have to do it in 4, which is clear or be cleared, which is a taboo, I would say, to everyone who's a hoarder, to never say that to them.
Very good. Clear or be cleared. Yeah, I like that. You're the 3rd person to break the rules on the 3-word game, but I'm going to let you off because I'm kind like that. Or we can let that. Cool. So I think been quite interesting having conversations with you. What was some of your inspirations for writing this play?
Not many people in Woodhouse, or indeed many people in my life, know this, but my mom and dad, they're both hoarders. They're huge collectors. My mom is a collector of anything craft, and my dad is a collector of anything electronic. I've grown up with hoarding practically my whole life, and until recently, only one of my parents, my dad, has only just sought help, and it's just been a huge struggle finding help for anyone, even understanding hoarders now as I am. I'm still naive on it. So when I wrote the play, I wanted to do a kind of awareness thing, because one of the things I hate about when they talk about hoarding is they always say, oh, they're being lazy, they can't be asked to throw things away. Actually, it's more complicated than that. A lot of the items are sentimental to the person, and to me, clearing their house is the equivalent to taking one of their organs away. To be honest, it's that difficult.
Yeah, I do like this idea that you know, it is very much about the sentiment we attach to objects, and I think, like, you know, hoarder or not, I think anybody can identify with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a vinyl player in front of me that hasn't worked for 2 years that I'm never going to chuck away because, you know, the vinyl player. And but I also really like the fact that you approach quite a sensitive topic from quite an abstract point of view. And one of the things I think is most interesting about you writing for us is Kimber has worked as you know, lighting technician, various other roles on the desk for Woodhouse Players. How does it feel to jump from the tech desk to writing?
It certainly feels very, very different. I'm taking a lot more of a responsibility role. With lighting, I can just, you know, push a lever or push a button, and the
It's
stage
more
is
than that, isn't it? Surely.
It's more than it's more, obviously more than that. But with this one, I'm having to really think about the words that I've written and work with the actors a lot more than I usually do. So it's been I've come out of my comfort zone quite a lot, but it's been huge fun.
Good.
Experiencing that part of it as well.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Final question. As we're coming to the end of 2020 and 2021 draws closer, if you say your player has one lesson for us as we go into New Year, a lesson be?
I think the biggest lesson that the play has to give is there's always more than one reason why people do things, and why there's always a hidden element to it. And if you just look at things from the surface point of view, you're only getting not even half the story, you're getting about 3/4 of the story. And if you start actually peeling the story a lot more further, you actually see, and you'll actually be able to help people a lot more.
Lovely. That's a lovely message, Kimber. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the preview we've just seen tonight, and looking forward to seeing the rest of the play in February.
Cool.
It's not a simple yes or no. That's the point. I get there's a proper definition of the word you're using. I get there's a legal definition of what you're saying, but maybe there isn't a word for it, which I totally get doesn't help you because you've got this legal book thing that has definitions of all the bad things that people can do to you. And maybe there isn't a word for this. It's not been invented yet. And now you're looking at your watch as if I'm wasting your time, and I really don't want that. But just hear me out, please. I guess the first time where I really felt it wasn't quite right was with Lukasz. It's funny, really, because I never thought he actually fancied me when we first met. He was kind of aloof with me at first, which is ironic, really, because later he told me that he deliberately went a few steps closer to me just to smell my perfume. I suppose it got confirmed when a few of us went for a drink. It was just such a nice day. The sun was shining, great company and conversation. I just felt really happy, you know? I had on a play suit which had this malfunctioning button that kept popping open so you could see my tits. And everybody kept joking that at least my bra matches my lipstick. And Lukasz said he was happy to sit opposite me just to check if my button opened and not inform me. I may have eternally blushed at that. I mean, when I was married, I would parade around in my Victoria's Secret underwear and holding a bottle of beer, and I didn't get as much as a bat of an eyelid from my husband. I mean, my tits might as well have been Morris dancing around a maypole, and he still wouldn't have bat an eyelid. I guess my fat face and my slow metabolism got in the way of any tit appreciation. So yeah, I did like the fact that a man was enjoying looking at my tits. I might have even subtly puffed my chest to pop the button open. I definitely felt Lukash's eyes on me that day. We even had a cheeky shot at the bar away from the others. And yeah, I did find him attractive. We were all supposed to meet up again, but then there were these last-minute cancellations apart from me and Lukash. And I did get dressed up, but that's nothing unusual. I can't really do casual now that I've got a bit of body confidence back. But I did put on some nice underwear. I don't know why. I won't lie. I had thought about having sex with him. In a way, I thought it was inevitable. We had a great dinner together, and he's a really fun guy, bags of charisma. And I remember enjoying his company. And I did think, at which point is he going to touch me? I wanted him to touch me. I really wanted him to kiss me. And yes, I can feel your eyes rolling at me, but please just hear me out. And it finally happened, and he did make a move. And I can't remember how, but it was definitely after we'd moved to the bar area, and it was nice. I enjoyed it. What I remember of it anyway. And even though I knew it was coming, it was still a surprise. I guess it's hard to gauge your levels of attractiveness when you've been out of the game for so long. He kept ordering us shots of spiced rum, and I knew it was too much because every time I kissed him after that, my head just felt like it was spinning and like I was on a really rocky boat and had a serious case of seasickness. And I knew it wasn't anything serious with him. He was a 40-year-old fuckboy. And he did put me off slightly when he said I was good looking now, but I should be careful to maintain that. He suggested doing squats every day. I guess that would take care of my arse. I'm not sure about my face, though. I even asked him in my drunken state if he thought of me as just a piece of meat. And he told me he thought I was funny and smart. So a gourmet piece of meat. A venison steak, maybe? And the drink really flowed, not in a comfortable way. And he asked me to go back to his, and I said I'd rather go back to mine because I had a flight to Spain the next afternoon. But he wasn't having it. He thought maybe it was best to leave it for another night. But that's when it happened. The thing that we don't quite have a word for yet. We were outside about to call an Uber, and he pulled me down this side bit, a bit of an alleyway, I guess. He unzipped his trousers and pulled his cock out. And then I don't remember exactly the details between the time of him doing that and me getting on my knees and sucking him. But I know he didn't push me down. I know I didn't feel unsafe, but that's all I know. And it doesn't seem enough somehow. I went home and he even texted me the next day saying he had fun and we should do it again. I even responded positively. But something kept nagging at me. Something just didn't feel right. And I don't know what triggered that feeling. And that's my problem. I never remember details, just the feelings. And I remember sitting with my mate on a bus in Spain and saying that I didn't feel right about what happened. I mean, I felt sleeping with Lukash would happen. And I'd put on my nice underwear because clearly I was hoping that he'd get to see it. I didn't feel good about sucking his cock in an alleyway. I don't know why. I just know it wasn't my choice, but I did it. It was me, the girl wearing the nice underwear. And he messaged me a few weeks later asking to meet up. And I didn't reply. I mean, just seeing his name pop on my screen made me feel sick. I just don't know why. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe it was the circumstances of being in an alleyway, but it's not that. It happened again with Greg.
Hello, I'm here with Ruby Langford, writer of Unicorn. Hi, Ruby, how you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Jolly good. First question. How would you sum up unicorn in 3 words?
I would say it is crude and questioning.
Oh, very good. Have you got a third one?
I used "and" as one of my 3 words.
that's
I don't know if that counts.
That's the cheating way out, but I'm going to let you have it. Actually, okay. One of the things I really like about unicorn is, I mean, it's dealing with quite a difficult topic, but I almost feel like it's sort of ambiguous in the way it gets to the message. Do you want the audience leaving with quite a clear idea of the message behind it, or do you think it is a bit more open to interpretation?
I don't think unicorn has a clear-cut message. I think that's mainly because my protagonist Layla, throughout the play, she's still making sense of the choices that she makes. When I've shared the play with others, it seems to provoke a discussion around consent, and that's what I want. I want the audience to reflect on their own understanding of consent. And I also think like the interpretation of the message is dependent on how the audience views my protagonist Layla. Some will resonate with her story, but I'm also aware that some may find her unlikable and not in a position to give any sort of message.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's sort of it reminded me a little bit of a Nina Raines play a few years ago called Consent, which probably probably led itself to it. But in that, I think you go in with a very clear idea. I think now that we feel like it's quite obvious. Much like in Unicorn, it poses questions, I think, and having an interesting way into a difficult topic. Where would you see Layla going from here? So we reach the end of the play. What do you think her next move is?
I'd like to think that Layla, by the end of the play, she recognizes what a healthy sexual encounter should feel like, but whether she has the courage to trust her instincts when she's faced with a potential unhealthy encounter, I'm not sure even Layla quite knows the answer to that.
Cool. Yeah, very good. All right. And just to wrap up, as we're asking everyone, as 2020 draws to a close, if your play was going to teach us one lesson going into 2021, what would that be?
I think it's that if something doesn't feel right, trust your instincts and look after yourself. Very
good. I think that's a lovely message for all life. Very good. Thank you, Ruby. We really enjoyed the play. I'm looking forward to seeing the full production in February.
Okay, thank you.
I can't believe this. Go to collect my boy from school this afternoon. Tells me he's got a sanction. Scared because he knows. No compliance. History. He refused to write, to use the N-word in the essay. Not that N-word, the other one. Negro. Now, I have yet to confirm the specific essay title. Anyway, writing an email. Lucky for them, COVID restrictions prevent me from going down there. This day and age, a child could be sanctioned for not using a phrase. Not the worst word, but still. One that we have sat down as a family and discussed at length. Might skip the school and go straight to the Guardian. Okay, let me do this the right way and write this email. This stuff has been going on since my school days. Mr. Barnes asked me to sympathise with the plantation owners. First time, only time I ever threw a chair at the teacher. Where are these pricks getting their lesson plans? Teachers in the sports hall telling me to tuck my tail in. That party where my Mariah got called Medusa. Sleepovers where I've always been Scary Spice. Scary Spice. What a thing. Always the hair. And still up to today. If you have to ask, the answer is no. My tone's too rough, and now my boy's too uppity. Please. Vaccines. Don't get me started. Since he fell out of me, I've been battling. Stuff they keep telling us, they know, they don't know. And now he shows symptoms. They make a call, interest of public safety. Told him to do whatever's necessary if you find yourself at a queue down at the nurse's office. No injections. Is nobody else reading the small print? Any of this sound familiar? The irony of it, all history was my favourite subject.
I'm here with Rachel Daniel, the writer of And Another Thing. Hello, Rachel. Well done. Excellent little clip we've seen just then. First question I got, nice and simple. If you were to sum And Another Thing up in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Inevitable, relevant, and local.
Very good. Yeah, actually completely spot on, particularly that last one. I think that's why we're quite excited for this. Yeah, second question is quite succinct as well. Who is Charlene?
Yeah, she came from I suppose many conversations that I've had and listened to over many years. I would say that Charlene is a misguided domestic terrorist. It's not her. Yes, yeah. She's not. Yeah, I don't think she. Or accidental. Yes.
I like that. Yeah, yeah. Always make it more interesting characters, the ones that sort of fall into something like that, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. Misguided. I love that. Cool. I mean, this feels like an understatement almost, but 2020 has been something of an explosive year, and I really like the fact that your play just absolutely doesn't shy away from tackling everything that's happened this year, it feels like. Why did you think it was so important to share these issues like almost as they're coming to the surface? And I guess that's a little bit reductive, as a lot of it's been building, but it's a lot of things have really exploded this year. Why is it you kind of felt that now's the time to write this play?
Yeah, I don't, like you say, I think that the conversations have been going on for a long time. And I think, again, the word accidental, because lots of the things that I mentioned when we first started developing the piece are now headline news. And so some of that was coincidental, and some of it is just reading over it again recently, I realised Charlene is a woman of colour, but lots of these issues are not so much about race, but more about our generation, I would say, and are relevant to the opportunities that our parents and grandparents had that we don't have, that we had hoped that we would have, and then when you start thinking of the next generation, will our children have that? And it looks similarly shaky, or even more shaky.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I found that interesting. It's sort of similar with another play we've got on, Distance by Stephen Bolchin. I find it quite amusing, sort of rereading both plays. They're kind of, this year has been so strange that they almost seem slightly out of date 3 months after they've been written, and yet they're so relevant to what's been happening, but such is the rate of change. But yeah, I think what I really like about yours is there's still that sort of almost explosion of feeling under the surface, to which I'm going to ask you finally, as we reach the end of this year, if your play was to teach us one lesson going into 2021, what would it be?
I think it would be to get out of your bubble. We've been obsessed with bubbles all year, and I think we're forgetting that there are people behind the masks. We're having to be fearful of anyone who does not live in our immediate circle, and that's especially for such a wonderfully vibrant city as London. That's the most dangerous thing I can think of. Step out of your bubble, and listen. You know, the idea that
people are the other, that they're dangerous, and that's what's going to happen. It's all, yeah. I think it's an urgent thing. Get out of your bubble.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rachel. Yeah, we love the little preview we've just seen, and we're really excited to see and another thing in February. Thank you so much for joining us, Rachel.
Thank you.